Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. Hopefully, on what is a beautiful September day. Oh man, I feel like this year has just flown by. I can't believe that it's already September. I feel like, yeah, this has gone so fast. And I will say, I am very excited to have September gardening because we are getting closer and closer to fall then, and fall is my favorite time to garden. It is just hands down the best. I get to grow the best things. I get to plant everything, like harvest so many amazing things. September is just, yeah. Plus, I'm always just super excited to get a break from the heat. So I'm very thankful for that. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, CJ from Atlanta and Carol from Georgia. Hi. If y'all are joining us, pop into the chat, say hi, let us know where you're joining from. My name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I created Park Seeds app from seed to spoon and started gardening, oh gosh, back like 10 years ago now. And we started from scratch, knew absolutely nothing, and just knew nothing. And we converted our backyard. So we live in zone 7 in Oklahoma. And we had just like a basic standard backyard here with just a bunch of Bermuda grass. And then we ended up turning it over into a whole bunch of gardens, fruits, vegetables, herbs, flowers. I mean, you name it. We had a lot of fun. But along the way, we were like, oh man, I really wish that there was an app for this. And eventually we were like, okay, let's just make an app to help us out here. And we ended up sharing it all with all of you guys. So if you don't already have the app, there is a QR code in the corner of your screen. Scan that, or you can go to any of the Google Play or the Apple App Store and find Seed to Spoon there. But it will help walk you through growing over 150 different fruits, vegetables, herbs, flowers, all of them. And it'll give you exact planting dates based on your location. And so no more math, which was huge for me. You can do a visual garden layout. You can even get help from Growbot by sending pictures or just questions and being like, what's wrong with my plant? What do I do? And all that. So helpful. I love it. I use it all the time. And hi, Stephanie. I see a lot of you popping into the chat. Hi, Paige. Oh, hi, Smart Pots. They're just down the road from us here in Oklahoma. Todd from Ohio. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you all are joining us today. Looks like we got somebody from everywhere so far. So if you're just joining us, please pop in the chat, say hi, let us know where you're joining from. And every time you do go in and comment, you get entered in to win our giveaway. So we do a giveaway each week. So I'm here every week chatting something gardening. And this week we're talking all about September. But last week we did some indoor seed starting as well and talked about like different issues with indoor seed starting and problem solving if you have any problems, all of that. So if you missed that week, make sure you go back and check it out. But I do a giveaway during these live streams as well as an after the fact. So if you guys are watching it live with me right now, keep commenting and you'll be entered into win. I'll announce a winner from one of you all in the chat today. And then also if you're watching after the fact, leave a comment on there as well. And I will announce that winner at the beginning of next week. So that way, if you're unable to join us live, which I completely understand, you can at least get entered in to win a giveaway. So it's exciting. So we're doing a free premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So with, there's so many amazing things that you can do in the Seed to Spoon app for free. But whenever you have premium, it just kind of takes it up a step and it goes above and beyond and you get that much more stuff. So this is all with premium right here. You get unlimited plant and pest identification, unlimited health checks. You can send pictures up to Growbot and you get free shipping on every single order that you place through Park Seed. That's huge right there. Absolutely huge. You can also log unlimited plants in your gardens, create as many gardens as you want to. I mean, the list goes on and on. I won't bore you with going over it, but lots of amazing things. Um, so, our last week's winner is, let me pop up. Congratulations to at Redneck Panda in Florida 917. So send me an email right here at info@seedtospoon.net and I will get you all hooked up with your free app subscription. Congratulations. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Okay. And like I said, if you guys have any questions as we're going through this, please pop them into the chat and I'll pop them up too. Super informal. We just kind of hang out and chat and talk about gardening. So today we're going to talk all about September, everything that hopefully you can do in September, depending on where you are. I'm going to try to keep it pretty broad for a lot of places, but do keep in mind, like, we'll talk a little bit about, but let's talk about something you can do regardless of where you are in your garden or in the world, really. Oh, it looks like it is cooling down for some of you all. That's exciting. Oh, that's amazing. It is actually out of the hundreds now for me here in Oklahoma, so I'm excited. We're just upper 90s now, but it's getting better. It's getting better. Knock on wood, right? So one thing I do want to mention for like one of the biggest things that you can do in the garden in September is really just preparing your garden. Whether it is just making sure that your summer crops, that you are extending the life of them as much as possible if you want to try to keep them going even longer. So mulching is always going to be a huge thing going through. Also, you want to be making room for some of your cool season crops that you're going to be adding in and hopefully growing and enjoying. I can't wait. So going through and weeding and pulling out any like plants that are dead or dying. I do get the question often. People ask, they're like, well, I mean, it's going to be dying in a few weeks anyways with my frost. Should I go ahead and pull it now? That's totally up to you guys. I generally just let my plants keep going until they are struggling or, you know, I just let them keep going until they die or they're struggling. And then I will pull them at that point and either like pop them into the compost bin, or if they were like diseased or anything, I just toss those right there. But I will say a lot of what I'm doing is just cleaning up in the garden, pulling so many weeds, because as much as I say every single year, I'm going to stay on top of the weeds this year, it never fails. If you guys are anything like me, you have the garden half full of weeds right now. So I need to go out there and definitely thin down the weeds and get everything ready to go. But one of the biggest things that you can do before you do any sort of planting or anything like that is just getting your garden soil ready and rejuvenated and all of that, because a lot of the summer crops are heavy feeders, like especially the squashes and the tomatoes and things like that. They're pulling a lot of those nutrients out of the soil to use for the plants. So you want to make sure that your soil has plenty of things like compost. I'm usually going in and refreshing the beds, adding some compost, just kind of working it into the top layers of the soil a little bit. If you don't have access to compost or anything like that, you can just pop in some. I have like a basic Espoma fertilizer too that I've popped into the beds before. But generally, if I just get like a really good compost, I don't have to fertilize as much at all. And that's really the goal for me, at least, is to keep it as easy as possible so I can just enjoy the benefits of the garden growing. So taking care of the soil is the biggest thing in gardening. So just having the soil taken care of, having the nutrients it needs, and all of that. It'll save you a whole lot of heartache in the end. So try to do that and get them really good and taken care of. Esther, you are way better than I am. Esther goes in every morning and plucks weeds, and once a week does edging. Look at you. That is very impressive. I am not that dedicated, unfortunately, with my weeds. I will go out there and I'll go harvest stuff and just look at the pretty flowers and all of that, take pictures, of course. And yeah, I feel like my entire phone is probably filled with pictures from the garden right now. Yeah, grass sneaking in from the gaps between the wood and the cardboard. I feel that too, because that's exactly what I do. I lay down cardboard and then put some like mulch or like whatever you want to put up on top. But yeah, there's always like little cracks that especially Bermuda grass, it's the worst at finding any sort of crack in any sort of defense mechanism that you have down. Let's see. Awesome. Got some mini watermelon and okra coming through. Yes. Yeah, it is therapeutic, I will say. I just need to dedicate some time and go out there and do it. It definitely is, because you can feel better going out there and being like, oh, look at everything that I did. Yep, I feel you. Oh no, my weeds are all that I have left growing. Well, then today's for you. Let's talk about what we can get started growing, because you can pull out those weeds and get your soil ready to go, and let's get to planting. So one of the biggest things is timing when it comes to fall, because like I can tell you exactly what I'm doing here in zone 7, but that's going to be different for those of you who are like down south in Texas or up north in, Minnesota. It looks like we got someone in Minnesota right now. And then someone from California. Like all of you guys are going to be slightly different, but that is the beauty of the Seed to Spoon app. Again, if you don't have it, scan that QR code right there. So right here, it will walk you through growing over, it'll help walk you through growing all of these. Here, let me pull it up here really quick. So right here, whenever you first open it up, it'll tell you like how many weeks you have left until your estimated first frost. So I still have about 6 weeks, it looks like. But so all of these growing guides right here, I can go through and go to any of these, and it will tell me when I can start planting them out. So I can be going out there and planting some lettuce right now. Like, let's see what my peas, I know there's peas should be coming up soon too. Yep. I can be going out there and planting some peas, but also like I can see all of this just in one image too down here. Did I pass it? I did. So right here, there's this Let's Grow section, and it'll give you everything at a glance. You can just like look through and be like, okay, what can I plant right now out in the garden? Or I can see what's planting, what can come up here really soon. And I can just, I can just brainstorm looking there. But I don't know. I like to show both ways that you can see, because sometimes you're just thinking about one thing and you're like, oh, when can I plant kale again? And if you just go into that growing guide section right there, you can do that. And all of that is free too. That's part of the free app, is seeing all of those exact planting dates and all of that too. Okay, so let's talk about a few things that we can get started here. I can get started here on a lot of these, most everything now. So this is going to be, at least most of you out there are going to be able to do a lot of the things that we're talking about today, like right now, or at least at some point this month. So leafy greens, had to put this first because it is what I am most excited about and the best thing. I love it. I did actually over the summer, I did grow like some Malabar spinach and New Zealand spinach, which was great. It helped tide me over a little bit, but nothing beats the fresh greens. The lettuce, the spinach, the kale, the Swiss chard, the arugula, the mustard greens, all of the above. Honestly, like it's all so good. Um, and a lot of these, I will say, Swiss chard gets a bad rap. Well, a lot of these get a bad rap, but Swiss chard especially, like before we grew it, like I was not a fan of it at all. And I yeah. I think I had just always had it either from the store or I had harvested it at the wrong time. But that is the beauty of growing in the fall because when the temperatures start dropping, it makes them taste so much better. But when you're harvesting Swiss chard and it's like warm outside, it will not taste good at all, in my opinion, at least. But in the fall, you grow Swiss chard, oh my gosh, it tastes so good and it's crisp and almost sweet. And that's exactly how I feel about like things like kale too. Like all of these, just it is the best time to grow all of these. I love growing in the fall because no matter when you harvest it, it's going to taste amazing. I love it. Yeah, Smart Pots, I am with you. I am so excited. Ah, nice. I got a green stock this year and planted some leafy greens. First time doing a fall garden. So excited to see what happens. Yeah, the green stock is perfect to grow, especially greens. I probably have a picture of one of mine filled. Let's see if, yeah, here's one of them. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things to grow in my green stock towers is just a whole bunch of different varieties of lettuces and greens and all sorts of things. It's the best use of the green stock in my opinion because I can just go through and I harvest like a little bit from each plant and you can't even tell that I harvested any, but I am like eating so much off of it every day. It's amazing. So good luck. You will love it. And then brassicas. So these are going to be more of the ones that you're going to be transplanting out into your garden. A lot of people I know do go through and do direct sow for some of these, which depending on where you are, sometimes that's just fine. But for me here in zone 7, I like to get a head start on them because before I know it, I'm going to be having like really cool weather and it's very unpredictable here as to when it's going to freeze and when we're going to get a random ice storm or yeah, you never know here in Oklahoma. So I like getting a head start on these indoors and then transplanting them outdoors once the temperatures start to cool down a little bit. So whenever I say brassicas, I'm talking about like all of these things. So like the broccoli, the cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, and kohlrabi. All of those are great ones to be doing and starting indoors, but you can also direct sow these outdoors too. Just make sure that you are keeping those seeds moist while they're germinating, and hopefully they'll be good. It's like Esther was over here struggling with her Brussels sprouts being super slow. I completely understand that. Yeah, which is another reason I love to do these inside, just so I can keep a closer eye on them with all the pest activity going on out there right now. It's better safe than sorry, at least for me. Because things like lettuce, I will go out there and just like toss seeds around and I sprinkle pretty dense. So if I lose like a couple of those, I'm not as devastated as if I lost like my one broccoli plant that I started by seed. So again, I want to baby them inside before I get them out. So that's just what I do for me. And then peas. Oh, yeah, I'm very excited for peas. And garbanzo beans too are another thing that you can grow too. I love them. So the thing with peas, you do need to make sure that you plant them along some sort of trellis or an area that they can climb up a little bit. So, because they can get large depending on the variety that you pick. Now there is a patio pride pea that I love to grow from Park Seed, and on those, like you don't even necessarily need a whole lot. Like I've actually grown them inside of a like a hanging basket before and kind of let them hang out a little bit. But they are pretty tiny, like very small. They don't grow huge, but they do produce quite a few peas. So if you don't have like a huge area that you want peas to take over, try the Patio Pride. It is really good. And then also, like, I mean, of course, there's like the sugar snap peas and things like that that I love to grow. And I grow those out in the garden with like up against trellises and things like that. They're very good. Stephanie was asking if it was recommended to soak them. And yes, I would. If you know that you're going to be going out there and starting some peas, absolutely grab a handful of them, pop them into some water for like a couple hours before you go out there. It will definitely help them out and get a head start. But not to say that if you don't do it, like it'll be just fine. I've done it both ways. It just makes it go a little bit faster, and you will have a little bit higher germination success if you do go through and soak them. Yeah, Esther, that is absolutely true. The peas hate the heat. So definitely make sure that the temperatures are starting to drop or anything like that. It's same with a lot of these plants that we're going to be talking about. Like they definitely do not like the heat. So whenever I'm talking about transplanting out the brassicas, it's definitely going to be a little bit before I take them outside because they will not do well here in my upper 90s temperatures. I mean, at the top, maybe the 80s, but I'm going to try to wait quite a bit of time before I put them out. So Stephanie was asking if it's too late to start brassicas indoors for zone 8. Most likely, no, not at all. But double check in the Seed to Spoon app. It'll have planting dates in there. But I mean, I'm always one for pushing it. So if it is like, as long as you have time to get them like a little bit established first, start them, and then go take them out when they're still small. But just make sure to get them used to their environment before you transplant them out too, even if they're still little tiny and babies. Yes. The snow white peas do great in the no cocoa liners. Yeah, the no cocoa liners are what I planted my patio pride peas in. Yeah, I have these like wire hanging basket, and then I put like the smart pot in them on the side. They're just these little like fabric. It's amazing. I don't have to replace them every year. I am huge fan. I converted over to all of them. Like it's been, oh man, I think it's been a couple years now. And not having to go and buy cocoa liners every season, it's been amazing. I love it. And these look and work amazing. I love them. I use them all the time. Okay, let's talk about root crops because root crops are one of my favorite things that I can't really grow a whole lot of in the summer. Now, I do grow radish, but generally not for eating. In the summer, I generally grow it more for the helpfulness of it with like companion planting and all of that. But these root crops will, again, taste so much better in the fall because when you're harvesting them, it's going to be nice and cool out and it'll make them just taste so much better. Again, like everything just tastes better in the fall. So if you are not growing in the fall, you are missing out. So definitely be growing as much as you can because it truly is like the best time of the year to grow. And this includes things like carrots, turnips, beets, radish, all of the above. Everything will just taste better and grow better for you, all of that. Root crops are one, again, that I would start by seed directly outdoors. I would skip the indoor seed starting for these because, I mean, these generally grow pretty fast. I mean, especially like radish, you can harvest within a month for most varieties. But the same with all like the others too. Like generally within 2 months, you're ready to harvest most everything. Um, it's definitely one that I would just start directly outdoors. That way you don't have to worry about messing with the roots or anything like that when you are transplanting them and all of that. Yes, exactly, Esther. This is why, like, I will grow them because they're really good companion plants, especially for squash. It was amazing. Worked so well. But they don't taste good in the summer at all. It's another one of those like they will grow in the summer for you, but they won't taste good. So I generally like I have a lot of animals. I have rabbits, I have chickens, and obviously like compost bins and things like that. So I generally like everything gets used around here, even if it's bitter. My rabbits or chickens love them, and then they turn around and give me more compost. So it works perfect for me. And garlic. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that we are already talking about garlic. It seems like I was just talking about garlic the other day. I mean, like, yeah, yeah. Anyways, garlic is one of the easiest things to ever grow, I feel like, because you can just plant this and forget about it. You will just take one of those little cloves, pop it into the soil, and I mean, really, truly, just forget that you planted it. That's kind of how I go about planting garlic. And I plant it in the fall. It'll come off a little bit. It will come up a little bit, but in the winter time, like I generally just leave it. And then it'll just kind of hang out. And then in the springtime, it'll be like, whoo, it'll just flourish for you and start going everywhere. Um, and it's one of those, it's like super rewarding too. It's very easy to grow, very rewarding. I love growing garlic. Some of my favorite varieties are from Park Seed, and they have elephant garlic, even though it's not technically a garlic. It's technically in the onion family, but it's more of like a mild flavor, but it does taste like garlic. But they're huge. Like it's elephant garlic. It is named appropriately, but it is one of my favorites. And then there's also like the music garlic I always plant as well. And then they have a purple and a red one that is like, yeah, it's amazing. I love to grow all sorts of different varieties and types and all of that. Definitely one of my favorite things. Wow, I don't plant as much as Todd does. Todd says I plant about 200 plants every year of garlic. Wow, that's awesome though. I love that for you. So typically what I do, I plant enough to plant like the outside of each of my. So I have these 4x8 wooden raised beds, and I go through and I plant like a garlic on the edge, on the outside of the entire round of my wooden raised beds. So that way, because garlic is an amazing companion plant for most things, some things it doesn't like, but it is an amazing companion plant for a lot of things. So I like to do that to kind of like ward off any pests that may be in there looking for my broccoli or my lettuce or anything like that. And it'll work really well to help protect those plants that you have around it. So it's definitely a good one. Oh, Esther's first time trying garlic. Good luck. I hope it goes good for you. Yes, I love it. The music garlic. Yeah, I like music garlic. It's a really good variety. If you haven't grown it before, it's really, really good. See, so I tried spring garlic and onions, and they bombed. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah, generally garlic is one that you do want to start in the fall it will do so much better. Most varieties, sorry, I'm like losing my voice. Most varieties will actually require what's a cold time during the winter. So it needs to have like a frozen time. So you can kind of like fake it if you did it like planting in the spring or something by putting it in the refrigerator for a little bit. But overall, it's just so much easier to just pop it and do it in the fall. I mean, that's definitely what I would recommend to do. Now, onions, on the other hand, if you're doing like those little onion sets, doing those in the springtime should work good too. Yeah, Stephanie, I'm with you. I always forget to get garlic in the ground. So, yes, definitely. Like, this is your reminder. Go get your garlic. And garlic sells out so fast too. So if there's a particular variety that you want, like it's a really good idea to make sure that you go in and get your garlic now and get it ordered. I know at Park Seed, they will send it at the perfect time for you to plant it. I think they should be shipping probably pretty soon. I don't know the exact dates that they do it, but it should be pretty soon. But they will hold off on like the perfect timing for you in your area. And then herbs, of course, no fall garden is going to be complete without herbs. I have so many out there. I mean, these are just a handful of the herbs that you can do. So we have like chives, parsley, cilantro. Those are the ones that like in particular really like the cool temperatures of the fall. But I will say things like rosemary and thyme and all of those will still like it's a great time to transplant out a lot of those like perennials and things like that, and they will thrive and do really well. So just make sure it's a good one, like especially for things like rosemary. I try to do one if I'm planting it now. I want to make sure that it's one that I know will do okay for me over the winter time, or it's one I pop it into a container and I bring the container inside over the winter. I do things like that as well. And so many flowers you can grow right now. Things like calendula, which is one of my favorites. I love growing calendula. It's one that you can direct sow right outside. You don't have to start these indoors at all or get any head start on them. Just plant them directly outside. They will do great for you. Pansy, I would recommend starting pansies indoors though. And with pansies and violas, I say this every time I mention it, just because it's something that I learned last year the hard way, is when you do start these, make sure that they are covered or they're not getting some sun or grow light or wherever, and that way they're dark. They need the darkness to germinate. So that's the only trick really to pansies and violas that I want to make sure that I mention. But calendula is one that's super easy to get started and grow, and it's so beautiful. Works amazing for a lot of companion planting too. So if you have like companion planting that you want to protect some plants, it'll be a really good one for you. Esther had a question really quick about does rosemary need to be covered? So it really depends on where you live and also the variety sometimes too. So I leave a lot of my established rosemary alone, and it comes back year after year. But that being said, like I'm generally watching for like as long as the temperature isn't like swinging back and forth super quick, it's generally okay, because if it just slowly starts to decrease temperatures, starts to just get cold, it'll be okay. But it's like the shocking. There was one year we had just huge flip-flopping weather where it would be hot one day and freezing the next day and then hot and then freezing. Like it was just going back and forth. I lost most all of my rosemaries that year. So it really just depends on how it's doing weather-wise. But most of the time, it's okay here in zone 7, and it'll come back for me. But that being said, I am not sure where you are located too, but you definitely can cover it if you have extreme weather coming in or if it's flip-flopping weather too. Oh, Esther says, I sowed calendula in spring and they were sitting in the garden with just a couple of leaves sticking out. Now they decided to bloom. Of course, right? Yeah, I love calendula. They are like, I feel like calendula always does really, really well in the cool season. But I've actually had some like stay and do well over the summer and then just take off again in the fall. So it's just one of those like very hardy flowers that I always recommend for beginners too, because it's definitely a really good one. Okay, and then berries. So this is something that not a lot of people think about starting in the fall, but this is a great time to plant out a lot of your berry bushes, your strawberries, all of these. Like it is actually a really good time in the fall, like before it starts getting too cold, like go out there and get some of these established and in the ground. So then come in the springtime, they will be ready for you and they'll be taken off and then you'll have a head start. You will get more berries and all of that. Like, and I mean, I have like blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, gooseberries, goji berries. I have all of the berries on here because I couldn't decide which ones to put. I was like, I'm just going to put all of my favorites. So if you can't tell, I'm a big fan of berries. Even the goji berries. Oh my gosh, I love goji berries so much. But I highly recommend like get your berries planted and get a head start on them. And they'll do really great. The only thing that I will say is a lot of I mean, especially blueberries, but a lot of these, even raspberries, they do tend to like more acidic soil. So whenever we were talking about like prepping your soil in the beginning today, it is a good idea to make sure that you have slightly acidic soil for some of these berries. And it's super easy to do. All you need to do is get, so Espoma has a soil acidifier that you can get. And it's just like a bag. It looks just like the Espoma tomato tone fertilizer and all of that I use all the time. And I will just follow the instructions on the back of how big my container is, how much of the soil acidifier that I pop into there. Very easy to do. Very super easy. Yeah. So if you're going to be planting berries, just make sure you grab some soil acidifier too. I mean, you can do things like adding in like organic things like wood ash or pine shavings, like random things like that will help too. But it's always easier for me too, because I know exactly how much of the soil acidifier to add in, and it's all organic too. So I love the Espoma brand, and you can get all that at Park Seed also. And if you have yearly premium, you get free shipping on all your orders. So boom. Yes, all of these you can keep outdoors. I keep all of these outdoors year round. I grow every single one of them. Yep. Here in zone 7, at least, like I have all of these in large smart pots and I keep them all outdoors all winter long. Don't do anything special to them. And they do really well. Oh, Carol got some boysenberries. Oh my gosh, I love boysenberries too. I haven't had boysenberries in years. I had them when I was younger. We had a boysenberry vine. I remember I was very young, but we had one at our house. I remember going out there and just eating them off of there. And my mom would make a boysenberry pie. Ah, it was so good. It's like one of my favorite things I remember from growing up. And yeah, we had this amazing boysenberry wall. It was everywhere. Okay. So I do want to mention also, if you are not growing anything this fall or after your fall is done, don't just leave your soil bare. So if you're growing nothing else, definitely pop in some cover crops. Keep that soil covered. Like there's so many reasons why and how it helps and all that. I mean, there's clover, like all of these things help for different things. So clover is actually a legume. So it helps in the same way that like beans and peas, like they pull nitrogen from the air and bring it into the ground. So it's almost like fertilizing as well for you. It's just easy fertilizer right there. Also helps with pollinators and just, yeah. So clover is one of my favorites. Radish is really good too because it grows really fast. If you have like compact soil, it can help loosen up the soil too. Also helps with nutrients as well a little bit. Barley is one that also, like, whenever it's done, like I always like chop it and mix it into the soil, so it'll bring in a lot of organic matter into the soil. And two, it'll help with things like erosion and losing of soil, because you don't want to be losing all that soil that you've worked so hard at. Um, and then peas, I mean, it's kind of the same as clover. We already kind of talked about that, how they are a really good legume. They'll bring in the nitrogen. And then oats is another really good one that will help to, like, it'll just help prevent erosion, cover your soil, suppress the weeds from growing and taking over. So yeah, it helps a lot. Mustard is actually interesting too. I love growing mustard as a cover crop too, because it actually can help with things like disease suppression or anything like that. So if you had any issues with the plants or anything around there, mustard is one that actually can really help the soil too. So I definitely encourage doing cover crops if you are growing nothing else, because it will really help your soil out a lot. So Esther was asking, how do you terminate if you do a no-till? So for me, I mean, I would probably say just chop at the top and then add them to a compost pile. If you have like a compost pile going, you can just chop them at the like base of the soil and take them off. That's what sometimes people do too. Yes, definitely. Like if you're growing nothing else, 100% do cover crops. A lot of the times, like I just leave my fall crops growing too, even like once they like die off from the heat, not from the heat, from the freezes and all of that, like I'll leave them there because I don't want to leave that ground bare and I want to protect it too. We got a question about too late to plant pumpkins. Most likely, but if you don't have the Seed to Spoon app, check out the Seed to Spoon app, because here, let me pull it up really quick for you. You can go into the growing guides, and pumpkin, and it will show you the exact planting dates for you. So like my last planting dates here, I'm in zone 7, ended on July 28th. So most likely it's going to be too late for you, but go in and check it out. You might be able to squeeze something in, but those dates will be all like geared just for you in your area. Oh, this is a good call out. Yes, Park Seed has a really good mixture for cover crops. And wow, thank you for linking. Yeah, that's a really good one. It has a bunch of different cover crops in there, and they actually carry like most all of these, if not all of them, I believe. And this mixture too that they have has several of these above here too. So it makes it a lot easier. Then you don't have to just go and find each one by themselves. Just grab the mix. Okay. Any questions, everybody? I know we talked a lot about a lot of things, And I mean, September truly is one of the best times to grow so many things. And there's so much more time, hopefully, for you guys to get started and growing and all of that. Um, okay. Well, we have a giveaway that we're going to be doing here shortly. Um, let's see. We are going to be doing a giveaway for a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. Here, hold on. Let me get over here. Sorry, I always have to come in here and run the giveaway for a bit. Okay, so we have a winner for a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So, like I said, like with the premium, you can do so many amazing things. You can go in and do unlimited. Here, let me pop up. Woo, here we go. Unlimited plant and pest checks, health checks, all of that you can send pictures up to Growbot for plant help. You can get free shipping on every single order through Park Seed. So right there, like that is huge. Unlimited gardens and plants that you can be planting. So many amazing things. So congratulations here to... Congratulations to CJ Speed. So send me an email here at info@seedtospoon.net and I will get you hooked up with your free premium. Congratulations, CJ. And then I also want to mention too, if you guys haven't submitted here, let me pop in a link for you really quick. There is a garden to table recipe contest going on with at Park Seed and Seed to Spoon. It's a joint giveaway and it's super fun. It is for all you need to do is just send in a recipe that you are doing with that you're making with your garden and be entered in to win. You get free premium and free Park Seed seeds if you're one of our weekly winner, and the grand prize winner, which will be in a couple weeks, will get a year of free premium as well as a whole Park Seed collection of seeds. It's very exciting. So make sure that you are hopping in here and enter in your recipes. If you don't want to pop in there, I mean, you can feel free to just send me a message too on social, and I can get your recipe entered in for you too. So, however you all want to get those, make sure that you get your recipe submitted because I can't wait. I am excited because I've been seeing the ones come in, and I love getting new inspiration for doing things and making things from the garden. So yeah, very exciting. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. Super fun. And hopefully I will see you again next week. Same time, same place to hang out some more and chat gardening. Thank you all so much for joining. Bye, everybody.